Hey everyone, I'm back at the spot where I left off, and I actually have my bike. I'm not using a blue bike anymore. I returned that one to a docking station. So let's continue our tour. This is the corner of Causeway Street and Merrimack Street and Stanford Streets. And over there is Lamasi Way. So this area has gone under quite a giant transformation in the last 20 years. The Green Line used to run above ground right here and down Causeway Street. These giant towers weren't here 3 years ago, 2 years ago even. And there was a giant blank wall on the side of the TD Garden. And now they've built these two high-rise towers and connected it in with the train station. And yeah, it's pretty great. There's some photos I'm gonna add into this video that are gonna show what it used to look like. I'm gonna start with the one on the corner of Causeway Street and Lamasi Way. Let's go over there. Or actually, I'm not gonna go because it's in the middle of the street. So yeah, that photo is in the middle of the street. It's right there. But you can see it on the screen now. And let's head down this Causeway Street. I have a lot more photos to show. So the second spot is here, the corner of Portland Street, the end of Portland Street and Causeway. And the Green Line used to run above Causeway Street right here, and the station, North Station Green Line stop was right up there. I have a photo of a guy painting the demolition of the station, which is actually a really cool idea. I wonder who that guy is, if he's still around, and whatever happened to the painting. So anyway, so yeah, so this is what Causeway Street used to look like, and watching the demolition was really fun. I love watching demolition of large structures. And down Portland Street, you can see that that giant tower is going to get built. We'll end up there at the end of the tour. But you can see there's going to be a straight shot down Portland Street to this brand new glass tower. This view is going to change drastically in the next 2 years. It's going to be great. All right, let's keep going. So now we're about 100 feet further down the road, and there used to be a Burger King right there. And the station for North Station Green Line was above the street. And over here used to be a giant blank wall. And there was this light up TD Garden sign that used to be right here. So this area has gone under a huge change. There's a tour right there. All right, let's move further down the street. So this is the spot. I'll show you the before photo for this. And again, there used to be a Burger King right over there. And there's Halftime Pizza. Behind me used to be the giant blank wall. And further up at Canal Street, used to be where the Green Line came out of the ground. Look at all these cones. And they jiggle on the wind. Anyway, back to the tour. So yeah, looking down Canal Street, I'll show you a photo of what it used to look like with the elevated Green Line. And then what that giant blank wall used to look like. Now there's a bike trail going right down the middle of the road, which is questionable. But city engineers, traffic engineers have strange ideas sometimes. All right, let's keep going. So this is where the tunnel comes out and over the Zakim Bridge. It's called Portal Park. And this is the other side of that giant high-rise tower that was built in the last 2 years. And here's a photo of what this used to look like when the Central Artery was above ground. And then crossing the street, here's a photo of what this used to look like as the bus passes. Yeah, it was pretty bad. And I'm not done yet. This is only just a few photos. Some people ask, was it worth it? I'm gonna try and prove to you, yes, it was. And this architecture, it's not the best, but you know, it's just background architecture. A lot of architects like to stand out, but this stuff doesn't really stand out at all, which is good. Background architecture is a good thing. All right, on with the tour. All right, this clip is really going to test how well the camera works with the wind noise. So yeah, I'll show you a photo of what this used to look like right now. Yeah, it used to look a lot different. It's amazing the transformation that's happened. A lot of people forget how awful it was, and it really was. It really was. I don't know how many billions of dollars have been spent in this one little area, but it's a lot. We're gonna head down this street here and check out the other side of the Hoffman building, where I used to have an art studio back in the early 2000s, and now it's Converse's headquarters. Let's head down there. One more stop along the way. This spot, I want to show you a photo of what this used to look like after the highway got torn down, or during the demolition, and then when they first planted this park. And now look how big the trees have gotten. Okay, here we are in front of the Converse headquarters, Boston Harbor. We're standing on the Charles River Dam. So here's a photo of what this used to look like 10, 11 years ago. And if I turn to my right, here's a photo of what this used to look like when the highway was here, and then when they tore the highway down, and now back to what it looks like now. And it's pretty crazy. Let's do that again. All right, so the highway, when the highway was here, when the highway was torn down, and now. All right, cool. Let's keep going on our tour. Okay, here we are across the street from where we were just a little bit ago, looking towards the Zakim Bridge. And then if I turn, this is what this area used to look like when the highway was here back in 2002, 2003. And now it's a bar and a kitchen, and across the street's another bar and kitchen, restaurant. Yeah, pretty cool. All right, let's keep going. Okay, cool, here we are. This shot is actually really pretty impressive. We're by the Marriott Hotel, and there's this little or big entry plaza, and this is what this section used to look like 18 years ago, 2002, 2004, something like that. Yeah, this is what this section used to look like. And then as they built it, there were empty parcels. And the building that we're standing under was the last parcel to be built. And this is all built over the highway. Right now there's cars traveling in both directions where my fingers pointed. Interstate 93. You'd never know it though. It's pretty cool. All right, on to the next. All right, here we are in the corner of the North End. This is Cooper Street, and this is the Greenway, whatever it's called, Greenway North. There's construction happening behind us, but I want to focus our attention to right about here, and I'll show you what this used to look like. Well, it's actually what it used to look like from here all the way over to here, back when the highway used to be here. And check out this photo. And then they had to dig the tunnel. The entrance into the tunnel from the Callahan and Sumner are right here, coming in and then coming out. And you hook up to 93 North and loop around to up here. But this is what it used to look like when they were still digging the tunnel. And then a lot of cement trucks. So much construction. And then when the highway was all completed, the tunnel was all completed, this is what it used to look like when everything was empty parcels, empty plots of land. And then
no, and then no, and then no, and then no, and then
they built all these buildings, and that one there too. That one went up super fast. We'll talk about that in a future video. But let's talk about this building, One Canal. Exclusive rooftop terrace. It's a nice building, but there's a section of the building you probably don't want to live in. Just a conspiracy theory though. But let's go over there and I'll explain. Alright, here we are on Valenti Way. Just want to point out these 4 giant planter boxes that are covered in tags. I'm gonna do a little proposal to this building to make that all much better. Anyway, let's get back to what I was mentioning earlier. All right, so here we are. These are all residential units. But this little section right here is an electrical substation. And anyone who lives near an electrical substation might have the theory that EMFs cause cancer. So if that is true, people living in these units here or anywhere in the sort of the vicinity of this electrical substation might end up with terrible symptoms. There is a parking garage that runs on this floor that separates the roof of the electrical substation to the first residential unit, but that's only about 7 feet. You want to be pretty far away from electrical substations and large energy fields. But that's just a little not so fun fact about this spot right here. So here we are here, and this is what this used to look like many years ago. Many no, in 2003, 2004. Anyway, let's keep going. So this spot is going to be the future site of another tower. Not exactly sure how tall it's going to be, but it's going to take up this whole section here. This photo is what this used to look like back in 2003. All right, let's keep going. This is the spot you could see my sequoia tree. I am a public artist. I do murals, giant murals. I'm not telling you my name, but it won't be too hard to find if you try doing some sleuthing. Oh, this guy just decided to park here. Interesting. This is what always happens to me. Anyway. So yeah, this was the spot you could see my sequoia tree, but now there's a giant tower and a tower crane, and there's going to be another giant building being built in front of that other giant building. Here's a photo of what that sequoia tree looked like. But yes, I am a public artist. I do murals and public art. Big stuff, small stuff. All right, let's keep going. Here's a fun fact about this building. It's the smallest block in Boston. This little triangle. It's pretty cool though. It's a really nice building. It was recently renovated about 8 years ago, and it contains the Suffolk County Sheriff's Department. All right, on to our final stop in this video, and that is this site right here. which contains the government center garage, and they're starting to erect the steelwork, and those are some pretty serious beams that they're putting in right now. This building is going to be massive when it's all said and done. It's going to cover up this entire building right here. You won't even be able to see that anymore. Let's get closer. All right, here we are at the corner of Merrimack. I'm not exactly sure. I always forget street names. I know this is Congress Street. Well, Merrimack turns into Congress, or North Congress. Anyway, enough of that. This is the site of the new giant glass, all glass tower that's going up. And it's gonna dwarf this site. And this was also the site, as I mentioned earlier, of my sequoia tree, which used to be right here. Yeah, somewhere right here. Used to be about that tall. Yeah, this building is going to be pretty impressive. It's going to stand out on the skyline, and it's going to be fun to watch get built. And there's some actual columns they put through the garage that are going to help support the tower as well. This section of garage is all getting saved. They're not tearing that down. What they are tearing down, they're tearing down this whole section here. So yeah, this is gonna look a lot different in the next couple of years. Especially the fact that Congress Street is gonna be all opened up. You can see the tunnel that goes under the garage. That's all gonna be torn down and opened up to the sky. All right, so that's it for this video. We will continue our tour from the same exact location in the next video. Take care, see you then.